88 World Cup stories. Rashford is here. 1.4 million coins. More than likely will drop at some point. A 5-star, 4-star, 6-1 with a medium low. Right-footed, left wing, left mid striker. We will get into it. Then obviously we've got power, free kick and flair as the two traits. And in terms of stats, great pace. Good shooting. Could do with some work, but very good shot power. Okay passing, nothing incredible. Dribbling could definitely do with some work. I'm feeling very much finisher vibes off him. Let's just quickly check Footbin if I'm correct. And I am correct. I'm getting good at this. You'd think I'd do reviews for a job. But we've got 95 shooting and 93 dribbling. Good physicals. Let's jump into him. I feel like this could be a good card. First, touch on the ball then. If you've done his player of the month, then obviously this is a very big upgrade from the player of the month, because we've got the 4-star weak foot now, 5-star skills as always, and naturally, stat-wise, looks way, way better. We know there's a finesse there somewhere. I saw the keeper moving. We never know. We've had 3s and 4s across the board on him. I think in general looks a very good card, but again, 1.4 million worth of coins, that's going to be debatable. I feel like we've got very similar to the sort of Bale card, but definitely already I'm feeling more agile with obviously Rashford. He does have that 5-star skill move, which is always a benefit, and the 4-star weak foot as well is always nice. He's cutting in obviously on that right foot if we can find him. Crespo. Oh, is that Bobby Moore? I was thinking, hold on a second, he didn't put Crespo as a centre-back. Of course, they've got that wrong still. Pace obviously being a main factor. That's a good tackle from Bobby. Obviously, in terms of kind of centre-backs, you're looking against your Rudigers, your Koulibalys, maybe even a bit of Kimpembe if we see him every now and then, just because the pace on them are absolutely fantastic. I think wing-backs, if you can avoid Walker and Ferland Mendy, you're absolutely in the clear against anybody with this card. His pace should be naturally very, very good. Pings it backwards. Salah nearly getting it in. Can we find him again? R9 on the turn, hopefully. Find a bit of... I was rushing it. Gives it me back. Little spin across. Fake. Got to be the finesse across. Goal! And Rashford with his first. Already putting up the numbers. That's what we want to see from him. It's a shame they didn't do a second set of obviously kind of like the path to glories. Just purely for the fact that I'd have loved to have seen a Rashford potentially get another upgrade on top of this. A 90 Rashi always comes at foot birthday. But it would have been nice to got him so early on in the game. And it is a shame that they are... just the standard. We've got a lot of cards that already have versions. Obviously, this one for Rashford is definitely a lot better in the player of the month that we got pretty much. I think, I'm pretty sure, was he the first player of the month for the Prem? I'm pretty sure he was over Haaland. So, again, we've had that card for a long time now. So, the upgrade is definitely worth it. But somebody like a Richarlison, who has literally just got to 87, I think it's lazy at times. Oh, how has that managed to go all the way through? We see a bit of Bobby Moore chasing. The pace is going to be far too much. And we didn't even get to move the ball. And again, finding him on this wing. I didn't really like many wingers as such kind of in this game. I'm very much a balanced 4-4-2 player. But definitely playing with Bale and with this Rashford, it's worked out really well for him. He's high up the pitch. Obviously, as a striker, I feel like Rashford in the second half will do better in that sort of role. It's a great ball in, across goal, nice and easy. And that is personally where I'd look for it. You've got that ball across. You've got the striker with him. He is naturally very, very good at kind of the all-round game, the passing, the shooting. Obviously the pace is normally pretty fantastic, and even on the ball his strength, very much like Bale in the only mid-80s, seems to feel a lot better than naturally what you normally get from wingers, and that's always a credit to the card, which obviously they're trying to increase in rating as we try and find him here. Going to look around if we can get him through every time. Don't go for the first one. There it is. Lovely pass again. Nice and easy. Little dink across. Get the little cross in. Finds the ball. It's not really the header from the midfielder there. Good interception. Gets that nice ball as we find 1-2 with R9. Okay, maybe not. Finds him far on this wing if we can get past who we got. Oh, it's absolutely blitzed him. Beautiful. Little ball roll in. Again, finds the shoulder. Gets the right foot across goal. And that is just beautiful play from him. It's a great drop of the shoulder. Gets every single touch right. And it's always going to be a finish. You know full well that Rash has always got that in his locker. And this is where the argument of using a mil for a card like this, we'll kind of see. We'll see where everybody's at in terms of price. Obviously, we have got a lot of options for wingers, for players that can be transferred into that position. So it's not necessarily our only option at this point in the game. So it'll be interesting to see almost the effectiveness that you can get for your book basically right now. Can we find somebody of the same sort of value? I know a lot of people definitely did that Ribery card. Oh, that's beautiful. Can we find a bit of Salah there? Salah, oh, okay. Salah was there. We find him here. Can we get a little finesse over the goal? That's a good save. But I know a lot of people did do that Ribery card, which came in at about 600. And I've seen a lot of people been using him on the wing. And he can actually be a left wing, which obviously would take that position. And if you've already got a 600k player there, why would you trade that out when you can't get your coins back, basically? And again, absolutely open room. The pace on him is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. Goes for the little bit of a cheeky flare pass there. Wanted to go maybe round the back there, but unfortunately, I don't get to choose them one. Oh, it's just too easy. He's bringing everybody out of position, and we know full well what that does. Gets the right foot, and again, buries it in the bottom right. Rashford, I'd say he is definitely worth a value. So if we're going into Rashford then, overall, he's coming in 1.3, so he is dropping. He definitely is dropping. How much was he to start with? Okay, so he was listed at about 1.4 to 1.5. Or, yeah, 1.417. But he actually, I don't think any really sold. We've got one gone for 1.4, and he is dropping now even more so. And I'm interested because we've got, like I say, we've got a lot of left wings this year that obviously can be changed. It doesn't have to be their natural position. We can have the Zidans. They can actually play left mid as well. We have, obviously, Mbappe, another solid card, but price-wise, it takes that one. Is a little bit under Rashi. Vinny, again, Brazil look like they're going to be qualifying quite far into this tournament, so he will get an upgrade in the next round if they do beat their round of 16 team, who I don't know who it is. That takes him up to 90, but obviously the price will stay very high until they're probably out of the tournament, really, if they don't win it, for instance. We've then got Ginola, who again is more of a striker. I feel like Rash is brilliant because I do think you could play him left wing, but also then prefer him as a striker, depending on obviously how your formation sets up. Personally, for me, I would do him in my squad as a striker just because I play a balanced 4-4-2. So obviously he isn't going to go as a left mid. I feel like that's a little bit wasted for him. I'd definitely say left wing striker are the two positions you'd want to go for. We do then have a Richarlison, who we definitely want to be looking at as a left wing centre forward or striker. We then come a bit further down into a Son. Again, he's going to have very, very much similar vibes to Rashford. He just has that 4-star, 5-star rather than the 5-4. And this is the Ribery card. Obviously, again, he is expired now, so if you haven't got him, there is no chance of you getting him, so the option for him is gone. But 633k, I've seen a lot of people do him, and genuinely would say he's going to be the better fit now just because you've put all your fodder into it. You're not going to notice a massive difference between the two, purely for the fact of 600-700k difference. That personally for me would be a deal I wouldn't do. I would definitely stick with obviously your Ribery there, because you've obviously put a lot of coins or cards into that card personally. If we're then looking at a Neymar, again, he's going to have the same sort of value, 900k for a card that really pace-wise will feel less, but definitely on the dribbling will feel a lot nicer, purely down to his run weight and everything like that. If we go a bit further down, in fact, I think we've kind of gone off price here. We then got Harry Kewell, again, solid, absolutely solid card at a 4-4. We have another Son at 315. So you can see what I mean. We've got a good amount of pricing between all of the left wings, and there's definitely viable options if you're not wanting to put 1.3 million down. I can imagine he will drop down, probably below a mil. I think 1.3 is quite hard. If you look at the overall players in general, there is only one page, so 30, say about 40 cards over a mil. Mbappe being one of them, who is creeping under now. A couple of them being SBCs. Messi obviously being a 94. We then have a couple of the World Cup icons, which is fair enough, as packable wise they're going to be a little bit difficult, but I don't really see him in this category of players. I feel like he's a very nice card, but He's not upgradable. He is just a standard 88. I do see him dropping below a mil at some point. Maybe not today, but definitely in the coming days. And if you get him untradeable, you've got an absolute big dub there. His skills are incredible. Pace is brilliant. He's got great shooting on him. His passing is good enough. I feel like finisher was definitely the move to go with, just to absolutely nail out that dribbling, as well as maxing out as much finishing as you can. It definitely shows. 100% shows. And he genuinely is a very, very all-round, very good card, and he fits into the team meta. So that for me is just the absolute bonus with this card. Personally, I wouldn't pay over a mil for him, but unless he was upgradable. I just think paying $1 million for a card at this point in the game, coins are not easy to come by, and I do think he will drop down. Naturally, we will get better cards and we will get more cards, so I normally only go for untradables if possible, just purely for the fact that if you buy him for $1 million and then he gets a 90 rated card, for instance, in Foot Birthday, that's a 5/5. This card absolutely crashes, and then you've got to find the window of selling him. So for me, untradable is the way to go. There is plenty of players that you can get instead of him. If he has to be Prem, we could look at maybe an Informed Son. If you've got coins to burn, 318 isn't bad. Sterling is a nice one, but he's definitely not on the same caliber. Regardless of rating, he just isn't. Foden, I would prefer more of a cam personally. Joe Cole's not a bad shout. Harry Kewell was pretty decent as well. And again, prices for them are going to kind of withstand the time, purely for the fact there are not impacts anymore. Obviously, over time as well, they will drop down in value in terms of demand. The supply is cut off, though. So this is technically the highest they'll be now, purely for the fact that there is no more demand-supply increase for them. It is only going down with more new cards being added. So I think in general, you've got a lot of cards to go with there. A lot of 300k, 100k, even if you go down to just a 14k sterling. Instead of the value of what you get back, I do think a gold sterling will give you more in terms of just being 14k, rather than lose it out on a massive chunk of coins if this card absolutely plummets. But he's a 10 out of 10 card, 100%. There is no argument there. Pace, shooting, dribbling, passing, physical, heading. He's got the whole package. So let me know down below what you think about Rashi. Make sure you flex him. If you've got him untradeable, hit that comments down below, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.